traveling too far or the expenses or gas or all those things. So we're trying to create a program around the world that allows you to keep it low cost and local and be more about the fans and showmanship and fun. So we've got a little bit of an introduction with three very unique groups for us, and it's kind of cool. We picked these, it wasn't by accident, it was by design, that we're going to see today. Coming up right here behind me is the Glassmen Alumni Corps. Absolutely. So obviously, you know, unfortunately we don't have the Glassmen, the junior corps, with us right now. We're hoping them to get a speedy recovery back to the field so we can all enjoy what the Glassmen do. But what the Sound Sport organization will allow corps to do is corps like the Glassmen can use Sound Sport to continue to fundraise within their communities, to keep their people engaged and obviously get their alumni involved, so that when a corps does have to unfortunately take some time off, they've got an organization that can keep on going and to get that corps back on the field much faster. So Glassmen, thank you so much, Glassmen alumni, for being here today and for being the representative of what's possible with alumni groups. We have heard from corps like Southwind. You remember Southwind? They've announced that they're going to be making a comeback using the Sound Sport activity as their building block to get back on the field. We've heard from the Railmen. Remember the Railmen from Omaha, Nebraska? They're also going to be using Sound Sport. And we've got brand new groups. In fact, more than 25 groups across the country have formed this year for the sole purpose of putting kids on a space about the size of a basketball court, 50 feet deep, 70 feet wide. The concept is any age, any instrumentation, but most groups are kind of gravitating towards brass, which is cool. And some groups are even, I'll give an example, the Huntsville, Alabama Rocketeers. They've chosen to be 21 and above, and they want to use just G Bugles, which is great. So if you like the sound of G Bugles, come on, get your G Bugles together and come show us what you got. If you like the color presentation or what corps did in the 70s or the 80s, the 90s, or today, you have the opportunity to do whatever you want to do. Now, the way that we are going to judge Sound Sport is that we're going to look for things that reward music, we want to reward showmanship, and we want to give credit for visual. But we want to make it so that you guys are key, the audience. Us, the audience. The corps are the audience. We're all the audience. We all want to enjoy it. So Sound Sport, the eventual plan is for about 50% of the score of 100 to be dedicated towards music, 25% dedicated towards visual, and another 25% towards what we call general impression. And what I define general impression as is, it's kind of the way we all watch drum corps shows today. We sit back, we aren't looking at little sub-captions and then sub-captions of sub-captions. We watch the whole thing and we make a judgment on, yeah, I liked it or I didn't like it. And so we're going to give credit in Sound Sport for that common way that we all view drum corps shows. So that's going to be kind of fun. Now, today we're not going to judge with scores or captions or those types of things. You're going to judge, and what we're going to judge today is just simply by audience applause. So you get a chance to have a little bit of a say in the outcome, and so we're going to just call it the Fan Favorite Award. It's almost, I feel bad that we were going to pick a favorite, so let's just make it a three-way tie, but just to go through the motions of that, you got a chance to do this, let's go ahead and we'll do the fan favorite and all that kind of stuff, but just know that the fact that we're here is the important thing, and that there's 28, yes, absolutely, that there are more than 25 groups in the United States, and the other cool part about this, there are groups all over the world that are gravitating towards Sound Sport as an opportunity for countries to come together and have a common playing field and a level opportunity to compete. So we have 5 teams currently in Shanghai, China. By next month, that number will turn to 12. There's going to be a contingent of people from a Shanghai school district that are here today at the show, and they are scoping out this whole activity. So they want to bring a group over as soon as possible to be competitive in the Sound Sport division. So we've heard from groups from China. We are having an event in October in Japan. We had an event back in Shanghai in May, and we've heard from places as far away as Guatemala who wants to adapt Sound Sport as the way that they conduct their marching music shows in their country. So we really believe it's the next big thing, and it gives people the opportunity, low cost, keep it local, make it fun, and it's all age, so we can all do it. We can all become participants and do this great thing. So that's basically the concept, and I know I've been kind of yakking away, but I want to make sure you understand. So when you go back to your hometowns, you tell people, hey, I marched in the and I marched in the 1986 Glassmen. I'm actually an alumni of this group, so they asked me to play, but I'm not going to do that to you. That's not going to be a pretty sight. So I'll clap along with all of you. But we're all fans, and it's just a great opportunity. But I want you to go back to your communities and spread the word about this, so that we can have these groups sprouting up all over the place and get your group back on the field. So let's do questions. Why not? Yes, sir. That's a great question. Yes, excellent question. Let's see. That may be I might have half the answer to that question. His question was, can a sound sport group ever advance up to an open class drum corps and eventually to world class? The answer is absolutely yes, and I'll tell you a great example. There's a group called the Guardians in Texas. Are you guys from the Guardians? You're from Texas. Awesome. I should be a detective. I figured that out so quickly. The Crossmen. You're from the Crossmen. The Guardians did not exist before January 18th of this year. They put 50. The other thing is membership is 50 members or less. We kind of keep it small so that we can put them on the basketball court and fit. And we call that right sizing. We want to put the right size ensemble in the right size venue. So, sound sport is not designed to be on the 50-yard line of a large NFL stadium. It's designed to be in venues like this, or in sports arenas like the field house down the street, or in shopping malls, state fairs, the Santa Monica Pier. We want to take the act to the people, and we want to bring our talents and put it out in public. So that's one of the things we're going to work hard to do. But the Guardians, what they did, they got 50 great kids together. They did a nice little tour around Texas this year, and they are now they've told me they've got 80 kids signed up for next year already, and they're in the process of filling out the paperwork to apply for open class core status. So that's got to be a record in terms of how quickly a young organization has gotten themselves together. They came back from their tour with a surplus of money on hand, so much that they could actually start purchasing some instruments of their own. And that's a big testament to the amount of development time that we put into these groups to make sure that they're solid, that they're not moving and traveling beyond their means, and they're not going buying expensive things that they're not ready yet to get, ready to afford. But when the Guardians are ready to go to open class, we're going to continue to help them develop. And if the Guardians want to move on to the world class at some point, or if they choose to stay at open class, or they choose to stay in the sound sport division, that's totally fine. The second half of the question was, can they do their style of marching and playing as they progress up the levels? Absolutely. Obviously, once you get to open class, you're going to need to play all brass instruments and play by the DCI rules as they exist today. What happens 5 or 10 years from now, I guess we'll have to see. We'll just let evolution kind of take its course. Things may change because it just becomes the thing to do. So hope that answered your question as best I could. Okay. Any other questions? We'll take a few more and then we'll get going with the Glassmen. Let's play. Yeah, absolutely. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Toledo, Ohio, the Glassmen Alumni Sound Sport.
I'm going to get in front of you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Glassmen Alumni! Terrific. That was, as you know, Just a Gigolo. It's the core song, right? Is that your signature trademark tune? All right. Way to go.